Joining us now is Moshe Lavi. His brother-in-law, Omri Miran, is being held as a hostage in Gaza. Moshe, great to have you with us. Thank you so much for taking the time. And as we said, your brother-in-law, Omri, is still trapped in Gaza. And we just heard from Jeremy Diamond, who says the hope of potential deal, a hostage release deal, perhaps is now slipping further away. When you saw this strike on Qatar, what went through your mind?
Thank you for having me. When I saw the strike on Hamas, not on Qatar, it was within Qatar's territory, but the target was Hamas leadership. I was all naturally concerned that we are heading towards an escalation, further escalation, rather than a resolution to the hostage crisis and to the war in Gaza. I understand why the Israeli leadership, our leadership, would want to pursue and eliminate Hamas leadership. They are responsible for the suffering of both Israelis and Palestinians. The onus is on them, and they have not negotiated in good faith. However, conducting such strikes in the midst of negotiations, a day after President Trump outlined a new vision for a deal, a few weeks after Hamas stated that they're supposedly agreeing to the Witkoff plan that Israel agreed to before, it's unclear what's the point of this strike and what is going to progress us to a hostage deal.
So let me ask you this. Do you believe that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is, ensuring that he's working in the best interest to release the hostages, to work to get that deal to release the hostages?
I want to stress that the Prime Minister is the elected official, is the policymaker, is the one who was entrusted by the Israeli public to make decisions. I'm a mere citizen and a relative of a hostage who is concerned about his well-being and the well-being of all the hostages. I've met the Prime Minister more than a month ago in Washington, D.C., at the Blair House. He said that he is looking to find a way to sign a deal with Hamas, a deal that will ensure the release of all the hostages and will ensure that Hamas does not grow to the threat it was on October the 7th. Ever since that meeting in July, I have not sensed that the Prime Minister is truly pursuing a hostage deal, but pursuing other avenues, the military pressure avenue. But my reading of the situation is that while there is truth to the notion that we need to get peace through strength, as President Trump says, where is the peace element? Where is the agreement element? And where is the social contract element? His responsibility for Israeli citizens who are held captive by a terrorist organization that right now is torturing them, depriving them of food, water, sanitation, and sunlight. Prime Minister Netanyahu has the responsibility to pursue a deal to bring them home.
Are you concerned, are you and your family concerned, like many other hostage families, concerned about what the strike, as you say, on Hamas leadership in Qatar, that it is going to have a detrimental impact on the safety of the hostages? Give me a sense of how you're feeling.
There is a Jewish parable that states that we ate the rotten fish and were expelled from the city. That's the sort of feelings we have today. It's unclear whether the strike was successful, but the condemnation came, and it is clear that this is going to have an impact on the negotiations and on a potential deal. Those were alarms that were raised by the Israeli security apparatus over the past month due to the increasing rhetoric of increasing military pressure instead of pursuing a deal, whether the Witkoff plan, whether a comprehensive deal. So we are many families are very concerned, and we're going to keep raising our concern on the streets in Israel, but also raise our concern to the international community. Two countries as well, like Qatar, which harbored terrorists for years, allowed them to grow, financed them, and then led to the October 7th massacre. I hold Qatar accountable. I hold other Hamas sponsors accountable, like Turkey, like Iran. And I hold the entire international community accountable for not pressuring Hamas from the first day of this terrible war. But at the same time, I urge my prime minister to respect the social contract, to do what is right. And what is right now is to take all the victories we achieve in the battlefield and convert them to diplomatic achievements, which should include the return of the hostages and the disarming of Hamas.
Moshe, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your insights and sharing your stories with us. Moshe Lavi there. Well, let's